Hey everyone, it's the Miserable Movie Man back again with my latest video. So I think you all know I like older films and I love superhero films. So this video is about a classic superhero film from the 90s called The Shadow.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Now, some of you may have seen it, some of you may have not. In my opinion, when it came out at the time, and even now, it is a great superhero film. May not live up to the standards of all the films today, but I have a special place for that film, and anytime it's on, I love to watch it. So without too much of an intro, and if you do like the film, you should check out the history of the comics and the character, because that's also very interesting.
You sure about that?
But let me dive straight in to 5 reasons why I think The Shadow is one of the best comic book films ever. So reason number 1 is the acting and the cast. There is brilliant acting from an all-star cast. Alec Baldwin is perfectly cast as Lamont Cranston. John Lone, who plays the villain, brings a very sophisticated yet feral and lethal villain in Shiwan Khan. Both of them seem perfectly matched, diametrically opposed in their use of their powers. In fact, I think Baldwin is so good in this role, he really should have got a chance to play Batman. He looks amazing as a dilettante playboy who masquerades as a superhero by night. Penelope Ann Miller was absolutely beautiful and also very smart in her portrayal of Margot Lane. I think her chemistry with Baldwin was actually better than most others of the time, especially Keaton and Basinger in Batman and Reeve and Kidder in Superman. And then you have great supporting actors like Jonathan Winters and Peter Boyle, who I thought were great. Tim Curry and Sir Ian McKellen were decent. Nothing amazing to write home about, but good. And finally, you had some pretty good Asian representation in a 90s movie. Yes, I know the protagonist was white, but other than John Lone, we got an Asian scientist in Sab Shimono, and the twin legends of James Hong and Al Yong also in the film. So reason number 2, I think the visuals, the costumes and sets are amazing. They're absolutely exquisite. There's no scene that doesn't look spectacular for me. The suits that they wear are amazing. The layers, the ancient outfits, they all add to this incredible spectacle. In fact, the scene where Khan's outfit blends into the floor and when he gets up, it looks like the floor is moving. It's so memorable and beautiful to look at.
It's so beautiful.
And then there's the opening scene where the image of the Shadow is perfectly recreated on screen and cuts to the comic book drawing. It's just stunning. The buildings, the nightclub, everything else really adds a level to this movie and helps set it apart from others for me. Reason number 3, the script. The script is really great. I mean, it's written by David Koepp, who is a favorite writer of mine. If you don't know his work, look it up, and you'll see many famous movies he wrote, probably quite a few that you've seen.
He's a great writer.
Oh, yeah.
To me, the script has a perfect balance of sharpness, wit, emotion, and also being a little tongue-in-cheek. You really feel for Lamont and what he's going through, and each character does get their chance to shine. The exchange between Baldwin and Lone in the restaurant is particularly brilliant and gives a nod to the old product placement of the cereals in the past. And then Baldwin delivers a line that only he could get away with when he says, "Hey, that's the US of A you're talking about there, pal."
Now see, that's acting.
And the wit continues in the riposte with Margot and Lamont's uncle, which is brilliantly played by Jonathan Winters, who remarks, "How can a man with absolutely nothing to do be late for everything?" And even when Baldwin delivers that line about whether he can atone for his sins, and it's almost a 1930s delivery where he says, "Not for me, Margot, never for me." I think for any aspiring writers like myself, you should watch and study this film. Reason number 4, this film is just fun. doesn't try to take itself too seriously. It doesn't try to be anything it's not. The Shadow knows exactly what it's going for and stays firmly in its wheelhouse. It's a really fun film, not overtly one thing or another. There's action, the usual tormented superhero affair, there's a solid romance, a great villain, some great humor, and a satisfying ending for me. The film knows who its audience is and largely stays faithful to the subject material, although it did combine a few variations and iterations here and there. And as 90s superhero films go, and there were quite a few of them following the success of Batman '89, this ranks right up there.
That was a 90s slam!
In fact, I would argue it's more fun than most of the superhero films coming out today. It's so easy for me to watch that whenever it's on, you can jump right in and go for a ride. It's not overly preachy or philosophical, but there are elements of spiritualism in there and redemption, so it's really got something for everyone. And final point, the powers of the Shadow, I think, were really brilliantly portrayed. The tagline to the Shadow, if you don't know, is someone with the ability or the power to cloud men's minds, even though he does have to use a pair of guns.
Sent to cloud the minds of fearful men.
But, I mean, how would that look on the screen? Seeing how he makes people perceive him to be invisible, perceive him to be larger than life, or even perceive him to have superpowers is great to watch. As I think is his antagonist, who is a lot more direct in controlling people. He smashes windows, he takes over giant billboards, and, spoiler alert, he hypnotizes an entire city. That was a really cool twist, by the way. Even the way he changes from the Shadow to Lamont was well handled. Although I'm pretty sure they got one of his uglier Baldwin brothers to be part of the transformation scene before we get to Lamont.
Now that's funny.
People may not have been familiar with the Shadow. He was one of the first superheroes, and he was given great treatment in this film. He's definitely one of the inspirations for Batman. His catchphrase was also pretty popular and serves to showcase what he is capable of. I think for the early 30s when he came out, it was very imaginative, and it definitely left a mark on the world of superheroes forever. So there you have it. Those are my 5 reasons why I think The Shadow is one of the best superhero films ever. It came out at a time when quite a few films were coming out. We had The Shadow, we had The Phantom, we had Darkman, we had sequels to Batman. We had a number of superhero films of that time.
So many.
And this always ranks very highly for me. I would probably count The Rocketeer as one of those, even though maybe it's not technically a superhero film. But yeah, this was a great film to watch, and Baldwin absolutely nails this role. I think he's portrayed some great characters in the past, but just the delivery, the look, he was born to play this character, and he delivers such an amazing performance in it that I think you'll enjoy it. So there you go. Let me know what you think of my reasons. If you have seen The Shadow and you enjoy it or you don't, please comment the reasons below. And if you think I missed out any reasons as to why this is a great film, also put down those in the comments. I hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, please share, like, and subscribe. It really helps to grow the channel. And if you've got any suggestions for my next video, please drop them in the comments too, and I'll see what I can do. Okay, till next time. Catch you all later.